Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another story time. This one is not clickbait. Not clickbait at all. This is like a memory locked deep back in there that I was just talking about the other day, and I was like, why don't I tell YouTube? Like, I don't even know how to give much context. I feel like we just gotta dive head first in the story. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so the story starts in middle school, y'all. Who would have guessed it? I know, or maybe some of y'all would have guessed it. Don't gag me. There's nothing wrong with this hobby, but in middle school, I was a band kid. Yes, I was. I was a band kid. Alto saxophone, what's up? It's still in my parents' house. Haven't played it since I was 14, but I was that bitch for real. Yup. In middle school, I was like, I want to try band. So that's the instrument I picked. In middle school, at my middle school at least, there was like two different band levels. There was like the lower one and the higher one. I don't even remember what they were called. And so when I was in sixth grade, it depends on where you're from, but where I'm from, Southern California, middle school is 3 years. I know middle school is 2 years for some places, but yeah. So in sixth grade, I was on the lower one, and then seventh grade, not everybody makes it to the higher band seventh grade, but I did. And y'all know what the higher band grade got to do? Perform with the high school. Perform where? In Disneyland. Y'all, like, I feel like this was such a cool random opportunity that I don't know if any other high schools had, but some reason once a year, I don't think it happens anymore, but it used to. In my middle school and high school, the high schoolers would go and they would perform in the Disneyland parade. If you've ever been to Disneyland, y'all know once a day there's this long parade where they clear out the whole main street, and like, it's band, it's characters, it's floats, it's all of that. If you've been to Disneyland, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and it's hella long because it's hella people, okay? And the band got to do that, and they would invite the middle schoolers, higher up band, to come with them. And so this was the year I was on higher up band, so it was time. It was time. So obviously, well, I don't know if it's obvious, but it was an optional thing. It wasn't like a required performance to like have a good grade in the class, but who would want to go to Disneyland? And then you got a free day after Disneyland after? Oh, I was in. So I told my parents about it. They filled out the paperwork. They were like, yeah. The crazy thing is, y'all, I had one practice before I performed at Disneyland, and I'm not even joking. So what happened is, y'all know in middle school, you guys have too many periods, and one of those periods for me was band. And so in band, when we got the number of people who were going, we got music for Disneyland. And it was basically, if you've ever been to a Disneyland parade, like if you see the floats and stuff, the songs just repeat. It just repeats because obviously you're going to different places, so it don't matter if it repeat. And that's the same thing with band, with the actual players and not like the speakers. Like, yeah. So we just had to memorize this whole like Disneyland theme. It had music from like It's a Small World. It had music that sounded like it was from space. Like, it was just like a Disneyland theme sheet. Y'all, it's so cool. I used to be able to know how to read music. Now I don't know nothing. I should have kept this go for real. So we would practice that in band. But the thing is, y'all, in school, it wasn't marching band. It was just band, baby. We sat in seats. It was just a giant room with seats, and we sat. And I don't know if you guys know like too much about band, but I said I played the saxophone. So the saxophone is like the little check mark thingy. And it has a little hoop, and then you have something around your neck that you click to the hoop, and that's how you hold it, but you also have neck support. So I never marched, but it's a Disneyland parade, so we're gonna be marching. We had one practice, or maybe two. It might have been the weekend, like maybe like a Thursday and a Friday, and then we went Saturday, but it wasn't enough. So you throwing children into a Disneyland production who have never marched to do marching band. It turned out fine, but it's just crazy to think about. So I remember we went to the high school one day and we had to get fitted because we're just a regular band. Y'all know in high school marching band, they got their costumes that they wear every single performance or tournament or whatever. We didn't have that. So we had to go and get fitted. I don't know if anybody can relate. I've mentioned this a couple times on my channel, but I am a product of PWI. I am a PWI black girly. I don't know why I remember this so distinctly. Well, actually, yes, I do. Because growing up PWI, you remember a lot of the things. I had box braids. Right? Y'all know what box braids is. Of course you do. And so I remember I went to the fitting, and y'all know in marching band where you gotta wear a big stupid hat, you know, like in the SpongeBob memes. So yeah, I had to wear a big stupid hat like that to be in uniform. And they were having problems fitting my hair in the hat. They were having trouble. Obviously, I'm a little girl. They want to give me a small. Oh, small doesn't work because she got all this hair to put in. I was like, oop, oop. I remember it was literally so awkward because everybody else was just getting passed by, fitted, and I was sitting there just like, y'all gonna figure out this hat or what? And I remember this guy on the high school band. White people, they try so hard sometimes. I think he was just trying to come for me while I was like waiting around, waiting for them to fix this problem. Cause like we going to Disneyland like tomorrow. And I remember he was like, yeah, like we just got to figure this hat size out, but your dreads are awesome. They were box braids.
I know about white people too. Like when they talk, they say the whole word like this.
When you're that young before you have a voice, you just gotta smile and nod. And that's what I did. So that's specifically what I remember about fitting. Also, not even just the hat, y'all. Shout outs to anybody in marching band. That shit is heavy. I felt like 100 pounds more. And the giant jacket, these pants, don't even get me started. My parents had to buy some shoes because marching band people, they have like these black shoes that all have to match. My parents had to go get some of those for me, and then I was fitted, right? And then the practice started. So it just matched by instruments. All the people who played the saxophones, with the high school saxophone people, and they were just teaching us how to march. Like I think first they taught us how to march like initially, like without the instrument, you know, the little 5, 4, 3, I don't even remember, but I remember it had numbers to it. So we learned that, and then we did it with our instruments because y'all, you know, it's obviously a big difference just marching with and without a giant thing. So y'all, when I strapped that saxophone around my neck, I felt it was so different because, mind you, I'm a little girl. I'm like 120 pounds now. Imagine how small I was at 12, 13. And I never carried an instrument while walking. I'm so used to playing sitting down. And especially the Disneyland parade, y'all know how long that route is? Okay. So that was crazy, first learning how to walk. But you know, I got the hang of it. We just practiced. By then, like we were trained from the class to already have the tune memorized. So we just played it, we just practiced. What's crazy is I don't think we ever did like a group practice with like all the instruments, because I mean it kind of made sense. It's just like all the saxophones are here. It's not gonna be that different. It's just gonna be people behind and in front of you. But all the instruments practiced by themselves, and then they were like, okay guys, see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. Bring your instruments, pack them under the thing. Also, I remember practice was like so lonely because I had friends in band, but I was like the only saxophone player. Like I knew some clarinet players, some stuff like that. But basically all the prep I had to do by myself because I didn't have any saxophone friends. And I remember that high school saxophone leader, she was like one of those passive aggressive girls too. How like when she would correct me, she would say something snarky, but then say, sweetie, yeah, bitch, I remember you. But anyway, the day comes, y'all. Disney Day. Y'all know how Disney Day feels, but this Disney Day felt like you had to take it because, oh my God, I'm going and I get to enjoy Disneyland, but I'm performing in front of I don't know how many people. Oh my God, it was crazy. It was crazy. So I wake up, I go to school, we hop on buses, we go to Disney, we make that drive, And basically it was gonna be like the performance was during the day, and then the rest of the day was just free game. Like you could enjoy the park. So yeah, I remember it was game time. As soon as we pulled up to the Disneyland parking lot, we got off, we came in some random way because obviously we didn't have tickets. I honestly don't remember that. What's so crazy, I remember exactly where we went into, y'all. It's so many people too. Y'all know how big a marching band is? This giant group of kids. So we get like led from where we came in by like this person who works at Disney. We just walked through all the way, and we walked all the way to the back of Toontown. You know how people at Disneyland always talk about like Disneyland hidden doors and Disneyland backstage? And I was like, it was crazy because I grew up going to Disneyland like a lot as a kid, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going backstage. Like, I'm seeing a backstage door. Like, this is so exclusive. And I remember too, I've always been like a goody two shoes. I remember like the people there, y'all know any Disneyland employee, they're not mean. They're always nice. Even if they say something, they're like, friend, honey. But I remember they were giving us this whole pep talk about, backstage Disney, and I remember they were like, yeah, if your phone is out, we're gonna confiscate it. Don't let us see your phone out, or we're taking that I was like, my phone won't be out, I promise. I promise. Don't take it away. So I was a little spooked by the seriousness, but I mean, it makes sense. This is serious shit. This is a Disney performance, you feel me? I'm 12 though, relax. Anyway, so we go, it's crazy, it's scary, y'all, because it's kind of like a time crunch. We go backstage, they're like, these are the dressing rooms, come back out, meet us on these dots. We get dressed, but yada, yada, yada. And then again, it's like the process is kind of lonely because like I have to go with the other people who play my instruments, but all my other friends are in different instruments. So yeah. And I literally remember in the placement of where I went, they placed me next to the high school saxophone leader who's being all passive aggressive at practice, but that's okay, girl. It's okay. I still ate that performance up, okay? So yeah, I just remember we just went through a long walk. Like we literally passed characters, because y'all know when Disney characters go away, how they be going through those trap doors and stuff, obviously. Because they probably changed stuff after. I remember we passed by some characters. Like, it was so cool. Like, I'm really Disneyland certified. Where's my little VIP scanner? But, yeah, I just remember we walked hella far in this backstage area, and then we came out by, like, this other trap door that came out to the parade, and we came out, and we did our shit. Oh my God, that's another thing, y'all. It was so hot. It was so hot. Y'all know how I said it, man, you gotta wear that stupid giant hat and then giant clothes. I was so hot and like out of breath because I don't do marching band, I do regular band. Like this is my first time performing walking in the sun. It's like 1 p.m. So it's like when the sun is right on top. But it was cool, y'all. Honestly, I was so nervous, but it was cool. Like even with marching band, I mean, I guess it depends on the band, like what type of band you're in. But I was so scared of like messing up or something like that. But I feel like even if you do mess up, it's so hard because there's so many people. Like if you fuck that note up, somebody else gonna cover it, girl, relax. I was also really scared because they placed me like on the outside. Like, you know how in marching bands it's like rows? I happened to be on the outside and I was like, it was scary. It was a little scary. Also, my other biggest fear was that I would fall. Y'all know how many clips of people falling during big performances or parades go viral? And I was just 12. Like, that would be hella embarrassing if I fell on the hot pavement during a Disneyland parade. But I didn't. I ate that up. You know, we walked basically until we found another trap door and went back backstage. Everybody congratulated us. And yeah, they just walked us to a door. Oh, mind you, like, we were accompanied by like school staff and stuff, but like parents wanted to come. They ain't pay for them, but if parents wanted to come support, you know, obviously they just bought a ticket for Disneyland for that day, and my parents came. So yeah, I remember seeing my parents were just waiting for me outside, like, I gotta see if I can find this footage. If I can find the footage, I'm gonna put it in this video. But yeah, y'all, it was a really cool experience. Like, that's actually crazy. Like, that I have that memory that I did that. Like, that's really cool. And now I don't even do band. But hey, it was a cool day. And then, you know, when I got to my parents, like some of my friends stuck with me, and then we just got some food, we went on rides, and yeah. Y'all wanna know something I remember so specifically about that day at Disneyland too? I don't know about y'all, but like when I grew up going to Disneyland, most of the time we would go on like the same stuff. Like we would have the same routine. Because if you've ever been to Disneyland, y'all know those rides, I mean, those lines are a little to be betting on something new. But I remember some people on the bus were talking about like some rides that I never been on. To this day, I haven't been on every single ride at Disneyland. There's definitely some kiddie ones I never touched, or if I did ride them, I don't remember. And I remember everybody was talking about this Peter Pan ride that I never been on. And I was like, oh, okay, for sure. So I remember I was like exhausted at the end of the day, but I was like, everybody was talking about how cool the Peter Pan ride was. I remember this girl was like, it feels so real. Like it feels like you're soaring over London for real. I waited in that line for like over an hour. And if anybody's been on that line and on that ride, I'm not saying it's a bad ride, but like it wasn't worth the wait. And I feel like that's what happens a lot. I got off like, I would not have waited an hour for this, but okay. Okay, that's the last time I'm taking recommendations from you. But for anyone who hasn't been to Disneyland yet or hasn't been on a lot of stuff, if you want recommendations from a real California bitch, Star Wars Land, y'all, I went to that in August. The second ride, the Rise of the Resistance ride, is like one of the coolest rides I've ever been to. Also just the scenery. The scenery is that girl for real. It was also my first time seeing the Avengers campus. Like all the new stuff is really, really hype. Like I think Disneyland is really worth the hype no matter what y'all say. I'm a 21-year-old who still wants to go back by myself, with friends, with the future man, with my children. I don't care. Don't ever believe someone who says Disneyland is overhyped. As a Californian who's been there multiple times, it's not, and I'm not tired of it. Okay? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching another video. I hope you guys enjoyed this very unique story time. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel because I know y'all want to hear more. Please follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Alicia Milan because you don't want to miss my daily posts and daily content. So go follow me over there. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!